Yeah, it's great. Also, like the people seem to show up really early, so it's like like sometimes when you play before another artist, like you end up playing like half of the audience because they haven't come in yet. But it's been like a really, very receptive and just packed kind of feeling, which is amazing, obviously. There was like a piano in our house, and so I was like learning how to play the piano just because it was there. And I was just like messing around for a few years before I kind of started taking it more seriously. And then I got really into the music of John Williams, who's a film composer who's really big in America, and I saw him perform some of that music in Boston with the orchestra, and as a result of that, I kind of got, interested in writing for orchestra and not just playing on the piano, and shifted my focus to composing for orchestras at that point, which is still pretty young. It's like 13 or something. I think it's just, I've always wanted to be able to put the kind of classical and orchestral music that I like in front of the biggest possible audience, and I think for a lot of people, songs are like the first way they come into music, and I really like when I perform on this tour, I structure it so that I like sing a bit, and then I do this instrumental thing at the end, and I think it kind of like, I mean, with Polyphia's fans, I could probably just do the whole thing instrumental and it'd be fine, but with a lot of audiences, I think that's like a way in to like not completely confuse them as to what's about to happen, and sort of, and I like singing. I mean, I've always sang in choirs and stuff like that in college and high school, but never felt limited by needing to do one thing or the other. I don't know exactly what genre my music is. I feel like it's sort of
It's a mix of everything.
Alt or something like that, but yeah. I mean, I think I like hip hop a lot. I've never considered myself a rapper. It was kind of funny because some people who've come to this tour have been like, oh, the first guy was a rapper, and I'm just like, I don't really know. Like, I wouldn't give myself that credit even. I wouldn't say that I'm rapping really at any point in the show, but to me it's always been kind of pop, but just like weird pop or something like that. Yeah, every city. I do that in America too. So pretty much every city, it's totally new violin players in the show, and that only works because I can write the sheet music on paper and they can read it. So it's like we don't even really have a rehearsal with them. We do a sound check, and they like, I hit a couple spots that I want to make sure they don't get confused by, but really we're just reading through it for the first time on stage during the show, which is it's pretty fun. And that's not that unusual in classical or like Broadway, like musicals and stuff like that. A lot of the people who are sitting in those orchestras are sometimes reading the music for the first time during the concert, or like during a rehearsal maybe. But yeah, it is fun, and I get to meet a lot of different musicians when we go around the world. Well, I worked on their last album doing production and just a little bit of addition, very small kind of details on songs, which is something I do for a lot of different artists. And then I saw they announced the tour and was just thinking, like, I've just been trying to tour more and haven't really built the following yet, I think, to do the big headline tour I want, but I'm trying to just open for artists I do like. And so last year I opened for a tour for an artist named 070 Shake, who's like a singer and rapper. I guess I call her a rapper, but I don't know. But then this one, I just messaged Tim and was like, yo, can you take me on your tour with you? And he was like, I think he was just like, sure, let me think about it. And then 2 weeks later, he's like, cool, yeah, we watched. So he watched videos of my performance on the last tour. He was like, this is great, let's do it. Well, I think when they were watching videos of my performance, I think he just really emphasized that he really liked that part of the show. I did write that piece. I say I wrote it before this tour, I actually wrote it before the last tour, but like, it's something, I wrote it a day before the last tour I went on.
Yeah.
Because I knew I needed, like the headliner for that tour wanted an instrumental piece.
You wrote it in a day?
I wrote it in one day, which is crazy. Yeah, it was like by far the hardest day I've ever had in terms of just music, trying to just get something written as fast as possible. But yeah, it came out pretty well. And then yeah, I think Tim just, and I think the band watched the videos of me doing it. We're just like, that part's really cool. You should do that or do something like that. So I was just like, all right, sure. But I also just say that in part because, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter on this tour because again, it feels like the audience is so ready for instrumental music from the jump. But like on some tours, I feel like it's sometimes helpful when you're about to, again, I just kind of like said earlier about like the orchestral aspect of this is the thing that's the most unusual. So I feel like leading people in with the singing first, but then even when you're about to play it, like I try to just prepare people. I tell them it's long. I tell them, it's, I'm just kind of like, it's going to be different, and hopefully that gives them, so they're not spending the whole time confused as to what's happening, I guess. So I try to say, because they wanted me to do it, that that's part of why I'm doing it, which is true. So I don't know. I didn't even really know that. I mean, a lot of the people that listen to my music are musicians, and I've done stuff in like Discord and Twitch and stuff like that where I've like listened to music by my fans and try to support other up and coming artists and stuff like that. So I'm pretty used to having that relationship to fans. I mean, I think it's tricky. You want to, like, you can't help everyone, I guess. So it's like, sometimes you end up, the artists want to see themselves in you when they see you on stage. The artists who are also fans, Sometimes they also are like, let's make a song together. And it's like, maybe, but it's just like, after a while, it's like, there's only so much you can do. And so you want to hopefully inspire other musicians to follow their dreams and all that stuff, but still allow them to like be fans and not purely trying to, network with you or something like that, But I think Polyphia has established a really good kind of, and they have like the VIP thing too, which they do, which is really great. Every day they have before the show, they have, I think if you pay extra or something like that, you can come and ask them questions and stuff, and they're signing some of the guitars and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that the musicians. I mean, it gives me inspiration because again, a lot of my fans are musicians themselves, so it's nice to know that doesn't limit how big you can get. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you'd think after a while you would run out of musicians to have new fans, but. Yeah, no, I mean, I have this whole time for sure. Like I've done features for people who are like really active in my Discord. I've done production. I've held contests where fans of mine who are artists can remix my song, and the winner gets some money and maybe another, like some kind of musical collaboration with me. And yeah, all the time I do stuff like that. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. As soon as I can. It's really just a matter of like how many people are going to show up, because you have to, to make it worth it, you have to know that you'll be able to fill a room. But yeah, that's why I'm doing this for sure. Yeah, I'd love to come back. I have an album coming out this summer. I don't have a date yet, but it's like half of the music I'm doing on this show is new, unreleased music. Like a lot of people come up afterwards and they're like, I couldn't find this song, I couldn't find that song. And I just kind of I figured it was better to do those songs knowing that, I think they're better songs. Like I like the newest stuff I have. A lot of the feature guitar more, which I think makes sense for this. So there's like 4 songs I think that I do every night. 3, 4, yeah, that are not out. So those will all be on the album. So I'm gonna finish the album rollout and kind of get with that. Hey, my name's Johan Lenox. I'm on tour right now, opening for Polyphia in Europe, and I've got an album coming out. You can follow me everywhere at JOHANLENOX, Johan Lenox.